Uber and Lyft. Joe currently uses multiple phones to efficiently drive for Uber and Lyft. But this can be a pain at times and very unsafe. That was until Joe found Maximo, the rideshare app that automates Uber and Lyft ride requests. Maximo will use the filters set by Joe, like time, distance, and passenger rating, to determine which rides are best suited for Joe. When a ride request comes in, Joe doesn't need to worry. Maximo will automatically accept the ride request that matches his filters, and then turn off the app that isn't currently on a ride. Once Joe finishes the ride, Maximo will turn everything back on. This will allow Joe to focus more on his passengers and driving safe.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the RODEO Roundtable. I think we're going to have a fun week this week. And we do have two giveaways, too, before I introduce everybody here. So if that's a little confusing, we'll get the first one out of the way early, and then we'll do the winners one later in the episode. But first of all, I want to start off by introducing the amazing panel that always joins on Thursdays. We got Kim's Side Money Plans. We got Hannibal is Hungry. We got Gary, GaryZaps.com. And we got Dash Theory TV, John. And how you guys all doing?
Well,
good.
Yeah, awesome.
Ready to start. Ready for the show.
Hannibal.
The pregame was good.
Hannibal showed up backstage. He's like, "Are we live?"
like, was that
you guys were fired up, ready to go. So I was like, don't waste all of the, good content backstage. Bring it out live.
Right, because I got some energy. So.
Well, somebody was fired up before we started.
Yeah, there was one person in particular who was very fired up.
I am fired up too. I'm pissed and happy that this is happening. But before we even do the first giveaway and get into all this, if anybody knows Pia Broderick or has any means of getting in touch with her, please do. She was the only winner of one of the weeks that didn't get in contact with Gary.
I saw that name. I saw her name yesterday in a different live. So she's always around somewhere.
I know she is, and for some reason, when she won that week, she didn't get us the email, so Gary couldn't reach out to get in touch with her. And if we can, because she's also in on the big drawing tonight.
Yeah, hopefully she shows up.
Yeah. So anybody that might know a way to get to Pia, just go ahead and. Tell her she should be in here because she's already owed $25, but she could win another 100 tonight. So
must be present to win. That is.
Yeah, must be present to win.
We said that at the beginning too.
And it looks like we have the others are already in here. I saw.
Yeah,
JP
I emailed
everybody
I had.
Yeah, I see Chris, Real Rideshare Stories. I don't see Tommy though.
I saw JP.
I did email Tommy as well. I did email.
So. Yeah, maybe I should text Tommy, but we don't need to do it this second. I can do that in a few minutes because nobody that's won can enter for the first one. So we're gonna do $125 giveaway. I think we should just do it right now because the other one will be later in the show. Let's just get it done
for the early birds.
What,
the doorbusters.
Yeah.
No,
there you go. That could be our hashtag turkey. What?
Supposed to do it after Kim's. You hear how she stopped whatever she heard her name.
Shouldn't we make it? I mean, nobody else saw the flow sheet, so they don't know.
I'm looking at it right now, and from what you wrote, Steve, Kim is supposed to go.
Yeah,
and then there's a giveaway.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the reason of flow sheet if we don't go by it?
I guess
if we throw it out in the first
minute. He sends us a flow sheet. He's like, "Yeah, we're not going by that." Like,
it came out, and I'm like, "Darn, I need to get home and get my article ready on first."
So yeah, well, okay, then we'll jump in tonight. So there will be the $125 winner after Kim's article. We will do that right away.
No, okay. One $25 winner, not one 25 winner.
There will be a single winner of
$25 who will then also be in tonight's the final drawing, which is for $100, and that should help anybody. We're a week out from Thanksgiving. The holiday shopping's begun, so all the winners can all get in from past weeks. So we have, just real quickly, we have Pia Broderick. We have Tommy Sison. We have Mr. Flex. We have Chris from Real Rideshare Stories. And who did I forget?
The
I know. I just saw him in here too.
JP.
Yeah, and JP's Gig Corner.
Right.
Yes. And so
why don't you select the hashtag now so people can do the hashtag as I'm reading through the first story?
Wait, I thought you said it. I thought you said hashtag turkey.
We didn't decide on it. I was just throwing it out there.
Kim said turkey what? She didn't say turkey.
Oh, turkey what? Oh, hashtag turkey what? Oh, okay. Hashtag turkey what? That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
And nobody better need to know how to spell that.
T-U.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Real Rideshare Stories.
But Chris just entered and he can't enter. So if Chris wins on this one, guys,
we'll have to
Chris
re-roll it.
we got to redo it, and Chris screwed it up for everybody.
Chris, you're in the second round.
So if you've already won, don't put it in. But yeah, I see Thomas doing it. Music City. Okay, everybody else do it.
Got any friends that want in it? You better tell them hurry up.
See, there goes
Flex.
Flex.
Type it in.
Flex
you can't type it in yet either.
It's going to be like, oh, you are ineligible. You are disqualified. There's already more ineligible people than eligible people.
I know, right?
All right. So we could be spinning this a few times. So
you might want to bring up that raffle page so that way you can keep track of how many we got. Did you already type in the hashtag? Okay.
No.
He said unturkey me.
Unturkey.
Oh my God. All right, Kim, you're up.
How do I lead off with that? Okay, so Doordash, my article was titled, get this title, Doordash now lets couriers drop and block rude customers without penalty. Dun, dun, dun. So Doordash actually came out with new safety features this past week. Some are rolling out to select cities. Some of it's rolling out to, nationwide. But basically the whole entire thing of it, and this is kind of some of the features. Some of it includes better reporting tools, real-time safety alerts, and porch light reminders. I like that one. That's my biggest pet peeve. So one of the new features will automatically check in with drivers to report incidents that could impact safety. This was kind of like twice in the article, but, I think it's kind of important because with this, like if you're on a delivery and it's taking too long, DoorDash is now going to kind of automatically send out an alert to your phone. Are you okay? And if you don't respond, they didn't say a designated time, but if you don't respond within a certain time, ADT is alerted. It kind of goes down the chain. And then if ADT, I guess, doesn't get a hold of you, then 911 will be alerted. So it's like an extra safety layer for drivers. There's also going to be a safe chat, which I thought was interesting. It's going to be an automated monitoring system that if it detects any profanity or like abuse of any sort from the driver or the customer, you have the chance to report it. So as a driver, you can report the customer, you can drop the order without penalty. And then also if you chat with an agent afterwards, you can also kind of ban that customer from you as a driver, which I actually think was pretty cool because I think it's only happened to me honestly once in the 4 years I've done DoorDash, but it would have been nice to block that customer afterwards because really who wants to go back to a customer that you've already done that with. So that was that. It will also issue porch light reminders to the customers to, hey, leave your porch light on for your driver, so that way they don't trip up your stairs and they can actually see your numbers to your house. Kind of something we've all complaining about forever. But basically, that was the really big thing. The safety check-in right now will be launching Hannibal in New York City, and then also in Washington, D.C. first, and then it will get rolled out to the rest of the company. But that's really kind of the gist of the new safety features that DoorDash is rolling out.
The one that stood out to me on this list or in this article here is it say that they're allowing couriers to report and block any customers that may endanger them without facing a penalty is a step forward, but there's only so much technology can do. That's a lie.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why I'm laughing so hard.
That made me laugh.
It's not. I understand. That was gold. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, it's all right. But yeah, the one that stood out to me in this article is they're saying that they can only do so much with technology. That's a lie. Give us the addresses, and I will give people a way to block these bad customers. Simple as that. Like, why are they having such a difficulty doing it?
Well, that's honestly one of the things I love about using. I'm going to plug you for half a second, Gary. For using Doe, you can flag customers for some of those reasons. So, yeah, the technology is out there. I think that was a line of not good stuff.
They don't really want you to do that. They
don't. And here's the thing. I don't think you're going to be able to go in your app and say, don't send me this customer. You're going to have to call support. And we know how helpful support is.
Right.
And try and get them to block that customer on your account.
I think
my guess is they'll just tell you they're blocked, and they won't be.
I think they're banking on the idea
we blocked them.
that you probably had a bad experience. You're upset. You call. They say you're gonna do some things. You're gonna move on and probably forget it, and then you may deliver to the same person you don't even know. So I think it's just they want you to feel that you have some level of control on what you're doing.
Wait, why is Jason saying that he's going to get reported? Oh, you don't turn your porch light on for people?
I think
you got to do that, man.
So I'm not going to lie. I felt kind of guilty because I just had to remove a porch light bulb. I need to go replace that ASAP.
Kim, get reported.
In the story, did you say something about if somehow they hear curse words or some kind of verbal exchange that something notifies in the app, like
in the app chat?
Yeah,
there's like an AI in there now.
Yeah, it's like profanity and abusive language. I think they called it.
I think that's why Jason said he'd make it reported.
So this is crazy to me that you know we've been trying to tackle the safety issue with Rideshare forever, which is where you're in more danger, and now they're like popping it into delivery. Like, we need a safety feature for delivery.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been complaining about it. I think.
There's a lot of bad stories about deliveries gone wrong out there. Unfortunately.
Kim, did you see the on the reporting the customer? Okay, it's not automatically detected. I guess it just says that it will automatically give you, like, you can go up and hit the 3 tabs and hit report customer, and then you submit it that way through the chat. What it says, but the example is, you're pissing me off. Where is my order? That's the example chat.
You're pissing me off. Where is my order?
That's what it says.
I don't know.
I like the porch light feature myself.
Yes.
But the block rude customers. I mean, other than like a handful of us, like, how many people see repeat customers? Honestly,
I do all the time.
I feel like I do too. I do in a small area. So
the only time I knew was when they had like a little like report. I don't know which one did it, where they're like, "Oh, you actually delivered to the same person like 2-3 times." And I'm like, I have no idea. So I guess possible, but I don't know. Yeah.
And the only reason I'll put it this way: if you do deliver to the same customer 2 or 3 times, they're probably a good tipper, and that's why I remember them. So I
guess it makes sense. I don't do enough delivery like you guys that, like, I always think of Rideshare, and there's not much of a chance you're getting the same people because you're covering such big, like, in delivery, they're keeping you in a more confined space.
No, I think it's market specific because like my food delivery areas are huge.
Okay.
And so, I mean, unless I purposely stay in one small area, like the chance of me getting a repeat customer are very slim.
I have a couple of customers that I get repeated like literally every single week to the point where like I'm back, hi, like they know me by now, they know my name, it's just repeat customers. I constantly have.
You need a dumpling card that you can give them. Be like, why are you wasting your money on DoorDash? Just call me.
I'll cut
I
the
gotcha.
fees.
Now catering orders, I do get repeat customers on, but of course those are catering orders.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one feature I don't like about this, one that I don't like, and Rideshare does it now too, is the "Are you safe?" feature. Because like sometimes I don't know, you got to wait. That's just nature of things. And like with Rideshare, like after you drop off, if you just pull right around the corner or something, say you drop somebody off at a club, you pull into the parking lot and you're just waiting for your next ride, you get this pop-up that says, hey, we see you're still at your last drop off. It's like, just send me a new ride and I'll leave.
I don't know. The customers I remember are the kind ones. That's how I remember a lot of the customers. So
yeah, I mean,
you guys sound like you guys are not really all that into it, or
No.
seems like it's not that big of a.
Well, I mean, some of these safety features require the driver to do stuff. So, like the one like "Are you safe?" for example. Say you couldn't get in the gate or something like that, or it took a while to get in the gate. They're gonna be like, "Are you safe?" Or if you're walking around trying to find the apartment and your phone's in your pocket, and they send you this pop up, and you don't respond to it quick enough, they might send the police out there.
yeah.
Which I mean, okay, that's good if something actually happens, but at the same time, we've all had that time where it takes us more than a few minutes to go drop off.
But what happens if you're actually in immediate danger?
That's what I was
thinking. And your
too.
phone is just pinging off left and right from ADT, and you're trying to be kind of, discreet about your phone, and all of a sudden your phone is blowing up with ADT.
I would hang up. I would tell ADT, listen, I gotta go. Keep my line clear. I'm gonna call the real police. If you guys could just shove it, I'll take care of it myself.
Right.
See, I feel like if you weren't safe, you'd probably have a harder time getting to your phone. I feel like.
I just think the safety features they're trying to roll out, it's a good and a bad thing at the same time. I mean, it's just one of those things that if you actually needed it, like that Amazon driver that got attacked by the dogs.
Yeah.
He probably really needed it. Hey, you've been at your drop off location for way too long. Let us get you help. But I don't. Some of these features, they just annoy me whenever I'm trying to actually work.
Now, what about this? If they upgraded the safety features and kind of took what they have with the Uber, with the audio and video recording, and if you marked that you weren't safe, they just started recording, so it would have that information, have more context of what your, I guess, situation is. It seems like that would be more of a better evolution of that technology.
Yeah, and the food you're outside your car, you're doing other things compared to like Rideshare where you're spending most of your time in the car, obviously.
Yeah.
I think you're still responsible for your safety. I think that's the first thing. So if you saw these additions, I think it's more positive than negative, but you are still yourself responsible for your own safety, and waiting for the app to tell you that you're asking if you're safe. You should already know if you're in a safe environment or not, and make the right decisions. But I don't see any of them to be that much of a game. It's fine. I think it's fine. It's better than it's better than nothing. To say it's better than nothing, but it's something.
At least they're trying. Give credit where credit's due. They're trying to add a little bit more safety measures to drivers.
Are they though, or are they just throwing out things that they pretty much know have no value just to get a few good articles out of it?
I think they have some value. I think for a small percentage of drivers, and I also think it's their first iteration of these features. I think over time, as they figure out what is actually needed or wanted by drivers, then potentially maybe they can improve it. But right now,
see that.
But then I guess it's funny. But But then, what should they do then? Like, anyone has an idea of what a better idea would be? I can't think of anything.
Here's one of my conflicting things with the rideshare voice part anyway, is that like right now that just rolled out in Calgary, Canada. They're the first ones to get it. And part of my issue with that is late night riders. Late night riders can turn on that feature too. And actually, that's who should be doing it. Like the people who get drunk, end up in the wrong cars, all that kind of stuff. And part of my fear is I've drove those people for years. I know what they say, and they say so much sketchy stuff that I would think you're going to get a phone. This is going to flag these people who are listening in, like as if something's wrong, and it might not be. It might just be that crazy conversation that you have to deal with the drunks at late night. But what I don't like is ADT being involved, because I think that here's how I view it. ADT was kind of always a joke. Like, yeah, ADT would call the police if your house got broke into. Well, now there's Ring doorbells. Ring and all the kind of put ADT out. Well, like, what's ADT's point?
Even in those cases, Ring doorbells, and Ring general, their alarm systems, they have a monitoring service that still is the intermediary between,
exactly
the people and the police. So I think there's always going to be that layer there.
But I'm just saying, I feel like it took ADT's dated model and said, hey, we don't need a bunch of people that just call and say, are you okay? Like, it was like, okay, we have Ring doorbells, we can watch now. And I feel like Uber and Lyft and all these companies are saving ADT. Like, well, all you guys are going to be out of business. So what we'll do is we'll make you half police officers. You guys will be the people that decide if people are really in trouble. And I don't know that I'd like that, because like I've said, like just have a single touch button on your phone that calls 911.
What happens if you push it by accident, though?
Well, no, that's what I was getting at. I don't even want a single push button. I don't even want that. What I want is maybe a press and hold button.
Yeah.
Like they had it at colleges. I remember this a while back. They had it at colleges for the females that used to work or walk home late to the dorm rooms, everything. And on their phones, they could press and hold it. And after like 3 seconds of pressing and holding it, it would alert the campus security. I mean, to me, I'd rather have the cop show up than the ADT trying to call me. It's kind of like whenever you get an accident and OnStar calls you to make sure you was in an accident. It's like, just alert the police and the ambulance.
Exactly. I feel like that's exactly what's happening, is you're taking a group of people who, I'm not dissing on them. They're trained to be security, but if I need the police, which is most of the time, if you're having that kind of size issue, you need the police. You don't need ADT to go, well, let's talk about your situation and see if you need the police. Oh, no, I need the police. Screw you.
But let me ask this: is when you call 911, aren't you calling technically an intermediary again? Isn't it not the police, like an emergency operator?
No, you're talking to 911 that literally gets on a computer and dispatches police to you. Yeah. Not ADT, who has to then get on the phone with police and dispatch people to you.
Right.
I like what's being said. Be accountable to yourself. You know when you are in danger or going into areas you're not supposed to be going to. So remove yourself a lot of times from those areas, or get out of the gig work all in itself, because you need to hold yourself accountable at some point too.
So let me ask you this question. Is there a feature in there that when I get an order, or when somebody gets an order to a place that they know is not a good area, that they don't feel safe going to, can they proactively cancel that order because of it, not feeling safe taking that order?
No.
See, that I feel like that has to be the next level somehow.
They actually labeled that as discrimination.
I know, but that's what I was thinking too, John. I was thinking, you know what they're going to start doing? They're going to start saying, oh, the drivers keep tapping sketchiness in this area. And then they're going to make those orders pay more to get them delivered.
Technically should pay more, I think.
I know, but I feel like that's the kind of crap we deal with. Like when we sign over, when we click, I agree. I understand. I agree. Did you read it? No, but I agree. It's fine. Whatever. I feel like that's what it's saying, is that, hey, you're allowing us to and as Gary and I say, beta, which means they can do whatever they want. You're allowing them to beta test if this works, and is it giving them information back that they want?
They want all the information they can get.
Exactly.
So they want the information one way or the other.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, if it weren't for this, how much longer was ADT going to be around?
At this point, at least they're doing something. I mean, I know Chris from Real Rideshare Stories, Rideshare Stories. I don't think he has to worry about getting in trouble because he's like hilarious with these jokes. I think he'll just be able to make some few jokes and get out of trouble. Like he's like, you don't have to worry about him getting in trouble.
And they didn't tip me.
Help.
That's life alert that you need, Chris. That's you just push that.
Not dash alert. So
yeah,
okay,
so
we're all about what 50-50 on these.
Okay, but even that sounds better than ADT. Give everybody a life alert.
I think Uber has the ADT. Isn't their safety function ADT as well?
Oh yeah, everybody's going to this.
Everybody's using ADT.
ADT had a group rate apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or all these companies lost a bet and they're saving ADT. I don't know, but
ADT invested in them.
So it's, what is the word again?
Turkey what? Hashtag
what?
turkey
Hashtag
what?
turkey what? If you
All
haven't
one word.
won. Now
All
we know
one
that
word.
Flex and Chris already put in theirs. If they win, they're disqualified from the bigger. I'm just kidding.
Run it again.
But we'll yeah. So if you haven't won yet, put in hashtag turkey what. We're gonna do that one right now. Like I'm literally, if you haven't put it in now. Because I'm gonna do that one, and that'll be is that the 6th winner? It'll be the 6th winner, and then in a little bit we'll do the big prize of the 6 winners. You gotta be here to win. So turkey what? Hopefully everybody put it in before, but I've seen a couple people join who I have not seen put it in yet. Let me see how many we have here. Okay, I'm showing we got 12 turkey whats, and we know 2 of them already won.
And there's 22 people here.
Yeah. You guys, this is to win $25, and then if you win, it's not even another night. It's tonight. You could win another 100. The night has gotten to us.
If it's your lucky night, you might be able to win 125.
That's right, and
then 125.
And that's no turkey change.
You can win 125 and then 125 total.
I mean, I went to the store to get some turkeys. They're expensive, so someone does win. They at least everybody take care of their Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah,
turkey inflation.
Turkeys are even hard to find here. I don't know about you guys, but
there's plenty over here. But you might want to get them now so they defrost before Thanksgiving.
Get them now. Get them now.
I remember forget the night I tried to buy a turkey on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. It was a big turkey too.
That turkey's been beat around. It's been left for that.
I've learned my lesson.
Okay, so I'm going to share the screen, and we're gonna see who wins the turkey what.
Who's frying that turkey? You guys fried turkeys?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I love fried turkey. It's delicious.
Yeah. All right. So please don't be Flex or Chris. No offense, guys, but
don't worry, Hannibal. My Instagram will show it to you.
Oh yeah. I love your Instagram, Gary.
All right, I'm doing it in 3, 2, 1. Hands are in the air.
Flex.
Better not be. Bonsai.
Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
No, Chris, you can't donate because you're in. So now, Bonsai and the other people that have already won, stick around because we'll have a different hashtag, and only you 6 are allowed to be into the drawing later because that one is for $100. That's a couple turkeys, maybe, hopefully. Who knows? Maybe you could hook up your neighbor with a turkey. But yeah, so okay, Gary just put that. So Bonsai, you can see that you emailed Gary, and he can do a couple different ways to get you to the 25, and then the 100 I will do after. And if people use Venmo, I prefer Venmo. It's easy for me.
Yeah, I can't use Venmo.
Yeah. So with Gary, you can't. With me, you can. So.
I mean, you could. I
not?
could always send Steve the money too. If Venmo's the only way you got, Bonsai, then I'll make it work.
Okay, so turkey head. Yeah. Okay, we'll come up with a new word before then. But okay, so we will take that away for now. We have our 6 winners, and if anybody sees Pia, if you're listening, please chime in. We would like to know you're here. You're still owed 25, and you're in for the big drawing tonight. So
If they show up, they have to show up.
I know. I'm hoping somebody, maybe she's in a different live or something. Maybe somebody will tell her. I don't know. But yeah, I can't even. What does Thomas say? I can't win even though I rigged it.
Wasn't.
So okay. This is a weird story. It is very reminding of Prop 22, although I know it's New York City, and Hannibal's going to talk about this one, but I got a little build up to it, which is already in New York City years ago. We saw this type of thing with Rideshare. And Rideshare is promising that by the end of the year, they're going to be doing something similar in New York City, but now it's moving over to delivery too. But if you guys don't remember, when they did this with Rideshare in New York City, they basically made it $17, $18 an hour, expenses, all this, that, and the other. It came out to $26 and change or something was what you were paid per hour. And that might sound like, wow, that's great money. Most of the drivers I know in New York City quit at that point, because when they worked, they made $60, $65 an hour. And literally within a day, that floor payment became the ceiling payment. You couldn't make any more. All you could make was that amount. And that's a big concern of mine, because I think that that's one of the flaws in this, is that they can crush the hard workers, and it just more gives money to the people who don't work as hard.
Yeah.
Now, that might not always be the case. However, I do feel like that is a big part of this. But Hannibal, I know you did a video on it. So what's going on in New York?
So this came out yesterday. Now, this was a part of a law that was mandated 2021. So this is when New York City was able to get tip transparency through all the food delivery apps. And one of the things, they had a provision for a pay wage, but they didn't announce it yet. I think I emailed or sent it someone on Twitter. I think someone from the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. I was like, who is deciding the pay scale? They weren't able to give me an answer, but I guess someone has, obviously. So they put this out. So by January 2023, the minimum pay will be $17.87. Minimum wage in New York City is $15. So they'll be getting $2.87 more. And this will increase by $23.82 by 2025, April 1st of 2025. They had some reports. They looked at 60,000 independent contractors who basically do New York City delivering food delivery. And this is specifically for food delivery. It doesn't say anything about grocery delivery. It's about food delivery workers. And this is plus tips. I don't exactly know how this is going to be distributed. It may be something like Prop 22 as a pay reimbursement. I don't have a lot of the details yet in terms of how the apps are going to respond. But even when they propose this, and again, this is a proposal. It's not official yet, but I live in a blue state. I think this is going to probably pass. The mayor announced this. They seem like they're really satisfied with this. But I'm just wondering about the cost of the food. They literally said this. This will cost the customers more to do this. It will be more expensive to order food. They just flat out said that. It's like, hey, listen, we're gonna pay everyone this basically more than minimum wage. The food's gonna be more expensive. So this brings a lot of issues that it's going to be very, very saturated, which is already heavily saturated. And now everyone knows in New York City, everyone is getting more than minimum wage. Why am I tipping? People are not tipping anyway, right? Most of us don't. Most customers don't tip. Why tip now? Oh, the guys that out there working hard. These are all hardworking people who are doing this. They're out there 12 hours a day on a bike. Imagine being on a bike for 12 hours a day, even if it's a scooter or what have you. They're out in the elements. They're dealing with the crime issues. None of that's been solved by New York City, obviously. We just elected a really talented governor that didn't solve the crime issue. So they're going to get paid as minimum wage. But I think just this, like what Steve said, there's a ceiling now, right? There's a ceiling now, and now there's a full pool of people who are expecting to make $17. And they had some studies that the reason why they came to this idea, they said that delivery workers earn $11.12 an hour, including tips after expensive. This is a pay study. I would like to look at this study. I didn't get a chance to look at it. $11.12 an hour. What are they doing? And they 60,000 people they had this study about. Like,
what did they use the same study that the other company used that said $6? And
I'm curious if there's going to be like a wage increase for drivers, like yearly, that type of thing, because it almost sounds.
Well, it starts at 17 and it's going to increase to 24. I said inflation will be, I guess, a part of that as well. But right now the minimum wage is still $15 here. So you're telling a lot of people, hey, come and do food delivery. We're going to pay you more than going to a job that you don't, going to work at Popeyes or Wendy's. Like, now you're probably going to make more money going back to Wendy's and Popeyes because now everyone is going to be on the apps. How is this going to work? John, I think you had a good comment too on the video about some of the multi-apping issues and like certain things are going to be different now. And this is going to start in January 1st next year. I'm very interested to see how it goes. Yeah.
I think the big thing is starting that so soon too. I mean, it's a lot of people are going to be looking at that coming out right before the holidays. They're going to try to get on the apps, I would presume, if they're not already on there. And if that becomes the new thing, beginning of the new year, a lot of people are going to be looking to make that extra money, that post-holiday money, to pay off all the bills that they accumulated during the holidays. And that might be the number one side hustle for a lot of people. If it's a guarantee.
I'm assuming you would have to be a resident of New York City then. Like if I crossed over the tunnel and worked in New York City.
I don't think so. I don't think it has to be. I think it has to be. The app should know you're in New York. No.
Yeah, as long as you're in New York. And this has been pushed by a union. It's a union called the Deliveristas. Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's a group of mostly from people, black and brown people who are working in New York City. Most of them are on bikes and scooters and e-bikes and all of them all through the city. They're the ones that you've seen, with the hurricane and Uber Eats and Doordash didn't turn off the app. They're just wading through water to deliver food. So they organized themselves. They got connected with politicians and they pushed this. So a lot of the stuff that's happening, the trip transparency, which was great, but now they're like, we wanted what they call more dignified pay, quote unquote. And they got it. They got this pay scale. And I guess we'll see in the next couple of months, is this what they wanted? It sounds great. Will they regret this decision? We'll see that in a few months.
Sorry, John, go ahead.
No, I was going to say my tinfoil hat has me peeking at the person who's the head of Deliveristas, looking at a future in the political sphere. That's all.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'll go work at Target. I think they're up to $24 an hour starting.
I see this by Rick too, and who is going to start this hourly wage that we already have here in California. I think Rick knows that, like, he's talking about the Prop 22 money. This is a different way of doing it, and the last time New York did it, it failed.
Steve, I think I don't know. He might be talking about the DoorDash hourly wage. You can now actually earn by hourly. Is what he might be talking about.
Well, regardless, though, here we go. Because if you are looking at one to the other, 22. Though they don't come together. Like, you can't compare California to what New York's doing. Because I do remember this very clearly. I had friends who I had on the audio podcast who drove in New York. They stopped driving when they pulled that crap and gave everybody $26.70 or whatever it was. Because you had to get on and pick your shifts, and unless you were like one of the highest earners or most working, you got the no selection of tips or trips that you could blocks of time. Everything started screwing up. And then when they did get the shifts that they loved, even if they were night shifts or whatever, and they knew they made 60, 65, nobody was making more than like $1 over the floor payment.
Yeah, I think New York is a very unique situation because we have so many people who are from other places of the world. People who are immigrants coming from places where $11.12 is enough for them to go out there and do it. So I think it's going to push me out. This is probably going to push me out where I don't, I can make more than what they're offering. Yeah. But there's those who are coming from, obviously South America or coming from the Caribbean. They're going to take this. And now all the platforms are against this. Uber, they're mad. DoorDash mad. Grubhub. Yeah. They're saying this kind of takes away their ability to choose where to work and where, when and where. Because now I'm sure these apps are going to put the clamp down. Like, if you suck, you're gone. Why would we need you? We're not going to pay you $17 an hour, even $17 an hour for you to suck and not get the food on time. And, so a lot of the bad drivers are probably going to be leaving very quickly. And the ones who behave like employees will stay on.
Yeah, I think there's going to see two sides of it, because I think they're going to see from the customer side, those customers that can't afford it, you're going to see that drop in demand there. And so I think it's also knowing how New York is, it's probably going to push a lot of the customers who can't afford it, probably going to be more centralized in certain places and the same type of thing, So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of almost changes the map there.
Now, because if I saw right too, it was like 26% more too that the customers will be paying or something.
Right. It has to be.
It was a ridiculous percentage.
Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous.
But I mean, do you think that all these people that are going to quit doing food delivery are going to switch over to rideshare?
No, I think that people are going to be.
Well, I'm saying in New York, because you sent me that other article here that says that they're actually raising the Uber and Lyft rates and the taxi rates as well.
Yeah. But the taxi is now going through the Uber app.
Right. But it's still going to be part of this TLC stuff. It's still going to get a raise. I mean, they're saying in the article you sent me here, 7.5 mile, 30-minute rideshare trip is going to pay the driver $27.15.
Yeah.
Why would I do food delivery? I can just do an hour of rideshare and make.
It's very. I mean, rideshare is extremely competitive. I mean, you're out there all day.
But how long does it take you to go that far in New York?
It doesn't matter because it says 30 minutes of that is $27.
Everywhere it kind of takes 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
To traffic.
So basically, every 30-minute ride is going to pay you $27.
Well, you also better live in Manhattan because, as we've talked about, what is it, below 65th Street? If you don't live below there, you have to pay every time to come in. Yeah. So now you're going to be paying that toll to Uber or Lyft or the city or wherever that's going, saying that you need to take a passenger to Midtown, but you are at 70th.
Yeah, this situation is, again, I'll say really, really unique because they are putting this in for workers that most of them do not drive. They're using a bike. That maintenance on a bike is not as the same as a car. So they're out there probably taking everything, right, to make that to deliver whatever after expenses, and they don't have the insurance and all that. So I would say most of them are probably happy with this. Now I think they'll regret this if they turn on an app and nothing's happening because everyone's doing it. But for a driver, for me, I would have to go to something that I could pick up heavier things, obviously, like catering and shopping, because I can't compete with food delivery if everyone and mama is out there doing it.
Let me ask you a question, Hannibal. Does with what kind of you stated with a lot of people that deliver in New York using the bikes, when we think of wear and tear, a lot of times we're just calculating that on a car. And we're kind of, doing that profit calculation. So would you say that a bike delivery drivers, they're making better money than maybe that survey's given on even more so?
If I'm assuming if you know what you're doing, you should be making more than what they're saying. But if you are coming from a different part of the world and you are afraid of having certain rates be low, I think a lot of them are taking everything. I see a lot of drivers standing outside of McDonald's. They have their bikes, it's parked up, they have their phones connected to their bikes, everything's all electronic, whatever, and they're waiting for a McDonald's order. That I used to do when I first started, when I was an idiot, didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, I'm not staying out here. I'm gonna go to the nice area where the good restaurants are. So there's so many newbies out there who are working, and they're working really, really hard. That they probably will be happy with this instead of either going to a different area, not just taking McDonald's and fast food orders. A lot of them are not tipped really well. So this helps those who are not working the system, as well as, I guess, us and people in the chat are doing every day. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to work. Looking at some of the comments, on a video, they were saying like, yeah, this is going to kill it. This is going to kill the market for me. I'm in New York City. This is going to suck.
I think it's going to, make more drivers and more chances of, I don't know, more drivers out there, more chances of accidents happening, more battling for orders. Like, I just feel like it's like almost like a chain effect. But what I keep even thinking, say I'm a new driver and I want to sign up for these apps, and I'm trying to do research and I'm trying to figure out whether Rideshare, I should go Rideshare, or whether I should do food delivery. But it's really confusing if you really think about it. They have certain amount of rules for food delivery, but then if I do rideshare, I'm gonna, pay X amount of dollars if I go below a certain street. Like, I feel like there's so many rules and regulations that they're trying to pass. It's almost confusing if you didn't know which direction to sign up for.
Yeah, and really, they don't want more cars here. There's too many cars here. So that's why they're trying to find these tolls and stuff. It's too many cars here in the first place, so they don't mind appeasing some of these guys who are delivering food on the bike. It's less space and not in the way. Even though a lot of accidents are happening with these bikes. A lot of them are using them not in the most safetiest way. They're cutting cars. I mean, I've been cut off sometimes. They're running lights because they're not this hustle. They're trying to get as much money as possible, trying to deliver as fast as possible, and people get hurt. Some of them don't have helmets. It's a crazy situation, but they definitely don't want more cars here. I think if they had their chance, they would have some of these cars get the hell out of here. So I don't know. I have no idea how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, I think that New York has never been kind to bikes, though, right? I mean, I feel like you guys always are.
I get mad. I'll say, well, take your bikes to the park with the rest of the children. We need this car. We need a street. Get out of our way. But yeah, definitely, it's crazy out there.
Yeah. So, Gary, what happened with Deliveroo? Because you said you used the word fired, and I was like, they're not employees.
Well, not fired, not fired, but like thousands of drivers in one day just completely lost their ability to do food delivery. Think of it like this: say you wake up tomorrow, you go to get on your app, and it says not in service. How would you feel?
I'll feel sad.
Well, I personally, I'd just turn on another app, but.
Well, yeah, but if you didn't have another app, that's what happened. That's what happened. You'd be like, "What the hell's going on?" In Australia, I know we don't talk about a lot of the other apps in other countries, but in Australia, yesterday, a lot of drivers got an email yesterday morning saying, "Hey, Deliveroo is now closed in Australia. We're sorry." Blah 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 blah. A whole bunch of things. Like nobody could go online or do anything, and then. Basically, what it boiled down to after reading it is there was some new laws that came out, more restrictions. If we think we're very restricted here in the U.S. as far as these gig companies, Australia is very restricted. Like you have to have a special license to do rideshare. You have to have special insurance. You actually have to record your time online for like DOT or whatever they do down there. And so, Deliveroo was like, well, we're tired of all these new laws. And Australia is 3% of their total income. So they're like, so they're like, see ya, pretty much. Because between, they got Uber Eats, Menu Log, which is Grubhub, and Doordash down there. So Deliveroo is like, see ya. And this isn't the first, actually, after looking up, it's not the first place that Deliveroo just gave up on. they also moved out of Spain because of the laws.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just thought that was very interesting because I've never heard of a company just in one day going, "Sorry, we're done here."
Who's running the food delivery game in Australia? Is it Uber Eats? Is it
Uber Eats
Uber-
and
DoorDash?
DoorDash for the most part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
This is those drones are going to be in Australia.
Yeah. Well, they
What-
do use drones down there too already.
Yeah, we talked last week, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
But
I mean,
but
that's-
that's why I was gonna ask Cannibal in New York City, if you're a bike messenger or bike delivery person or motorcycle, does the gig companies have to provide you with the safety equipment?
The only thing that from this law is they give you a bag, delivery bag. They're not
They
giving
make you
others.
advertise for them.
Yeah.
They give you a hot bag.
It has like it's like a
on top of
welcome
your head
bag.
and
It has
then-
discounts for guns in it. And
It'll break your fall if you get into an accident.
yeah. There's still not insurance. It's not. It's just we'll pay you more.
Right.
That's-
Well,
that's
in
what
Australia,
they're
they have to give safety vest, I believe, helmets, a delivery bag, that big one that you can put on your strap over or whatever,
Yeah.
things like that we see in all the, other countries that they do that stuff. So
yeah, I don't
I
know
was
if you
just
guys
curious
saw.
if you
I
know,
have to
yeah.
mention this, but I don't know if you saw that Atlanta delivers. We've had Atlanta on the program before, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but she got she keeps referring to it as an e-scooter. I just don't ever call it that, but she started doing deliveries on an e-scooter because she was given one by, I think it was Deliveroo. It was whoever she was doing the documentary for. And her second day on the e-scooter, she got hit by a car.
Oh, wow.
And she's already got
very
another
dangerous.
e-scooter.
It's very dangerous because it's not just like, obviously you have to be paying attention to everything. I think a lot of the people who are on these scooters, they're not wearing the proper equipment of, you should be wearing something super bright. I've seen at night, they're all black helmet or if they have a helmet, all black clothes. I can't even see. Like, this should be light up like a Christmas tree. Like, there's certain things they don't have. And on top of that, they're in a rush to get as many deliveries done. So those two things, and also, crazy drivers here in New York City, they're also aggressive. The Uber, Lyft drivers, they're trying to get as much fares. So it's like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I see it too. I see that I guess we'll see how it all plays out. I guess with the New York one, it's interesting to me because I remember this like the back of my hand from 2017. I remember this and what they did, and it didn't work. And they were so sure it was going to work, but it didn't work. All it did was get the veteran best drivers to quit. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
And everybody else was making what they shouldn't make out of subsidy pay. So
One last question. Is this, improvement is probably not the best word, but compared to the Prop 22 where they had to fix it because AB5 was just too broad, like they're at least saying for this, it's only food delivery. Like, is that a better idea than Prop 22 or is more or less the same?
Well, at least from what I noticed, like what Gary was talking about, the article I sent him was they're going to increase the customer side so much that I feel like that's getting paid for that way. Whereas with Prop 22, it's the company is paying all the difference.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I will say that maybe that's a little better because they're at least passing it on to the customer. But
somebody has to pay for it. Right?
Yeah, but customers aren't going to be stoked to see 25, 28, 30% more on every order.
It's expensive.
Remember, it's only 25% more the first time. After that, it's just the same price.
Yeah.
The same price as the 25% more.
Is it? Look, I think when you order food, sometimes it feels like it's something that should happen every day. Like, should you be ordering food every day? There should be a special occasion, like something's happening that you bring, either like a game is on, but maybe people are not going to order 3 times a week. It's going to probably be twice or maybe once a week compared to how, used to be, it was 25% more.
Yeah, I don't know. And New York better than all of us. Are just people not getting their cars out and loving this, that they can have their food delivered? Is it worth that little extra?
Probably. Well, if you have it. If you're doing well, you'll pay.
I don't know. Every time I go into the app, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna order out, and I put all my food in I want. I'm like, hell no, I'll go get it.
Well, you should be doing it for free. You'd use Grubhub.
Well, yeah, delivery's free, but I mean, like they still got service fees.
And they still jack up the prices.
Yeah, and then
that is the weird thing
about
Grubhub. You get the free delivery, and then they still keep the service fees on there.
Well, did you notice that? I don't know. Any of you guys have Dash Pass?
I do.
Okay, somebody told me that delivery is no longer free now. It's like $1.99.
Then what's the point of the Dash Pass?
Right, that's what I said.
Well, Dash Pass has always had some restaurants that aren't free delivery.
On Dash Pass? Seriously? That's what the whole point of Dash Pass is.
Well, like the big national chains, like the McDonald's and those other places are free.
Yeah, those are going to be free, right?
Yeah, but that's. I mean, if you're going to take away from, if you're going to pull things like that, people are going to be like, I don't want Dash Pass.
Yeah, why do I need Dash Pass if it ain't free delivery? And at least Walmart's like, hey, pay $99 a year. We give you free delivery.
All right, you guys. This is I get to finally do this. I get to say how bad autonomous sucks and how bad they're crashing. We'll do the big giveaway after this one, by the way. But I just have to I had to get this because I love it. So in 2017 in Las Vegas, there was the Consumer Electronics Show, and it was the biggest money gainer for the autonomous industry. Everybody in autonomous in the world was there. It was one of the biggest conferences. And after that, several of the automakers, GM, everybody was starting to pair up with companies to get into some sort of autonomous. Now, let's fast forward to 2020. In 2020, the reports are out now. The automotive industry spent $16 billion on driverless technology. Okay. This year to date. So we're halfway through November. We still have 6 weeks left in the year. They are over 100 billion in spending. 16 billion to 100 billion. And for the dream of a driverless car. Yet, for all the investing, the self-driving car seems farther away than it did a half a decade ago. Okay, this is crazy. So collisions involving self-driving tech shake consumer confidence. Obviously, that's a big deal because they don't even want to hear about one problem, but there's so many problems. So now even the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says owners overestimate just how self-driving vehicles really are and really what their capacities are and what they're able to do. And then Autoblog put out a report as well saying that industry analysts are questioning the value and valuation of autonomous tech companies, saying these companies have squandered tens of billions of dollars. So now you got Ford completely abandoning autonomous. They've left Argo and they have no deal left with Volkswagen. Volkswagen is stepping away from autonomous and Argo is going out of business. Now let's remember that Argo is up there with Waymo. They're not Uber autonomous like a complete joke. They actually had some things they had done. But they were talking last week, these articles were talking about moving backwards from trying to get to level 5 to going back to level 4 autonomous testing. But here's the thing. Ford, like all the companies that are now moving away are saying, forget level 5, forget level 4, forget level 3. They are now moving back to perfect level 2 autonomous, which is driver assistance technology. So things like if you're running off the road, it'll pull you back. They're gonna more improve on all that space instead of the joke of autonomous, because Kim said it when we were talking a little bit before we came on. We're just not there. And I've said this for a long time. We're not there. Insurance companies aren't ready to spend it. No investors want involved in autonomous anymore. It's become what's considered one of the biggest wastes of money is to be in the autonomous industry.
So if Argo is up there with Waymo How come
Yep.
Waymo is able to put out a driverless car in Phoenix, but they're still having issues?
So Waymo, just so you guys know, Waymo is not doing that well, by the way. Waymo is having some extreme problems. They are also facing tons of because here's a Waymo's robot taxi website says with millions of miles driven through countless situations on public roads and billions more in simulation, we've gathered incredible amounts of data and invaluable lessons to develop autonomous driving technology further than anyone else. But here's the thing. Even the executives that met from Waymo had put their Jaguar I-Pace SUV on track to be fully autonomous by 2021, and then they pushed it to 2022. Now they're pushing it to an unknown date. They've removed the date. They're just going to go back to the basics of working with autonomous. Now, for Waymo, what does that mean? I don't know. But for some reason, they still think it's okay to kill people in John's neck of the woods, I know. So you can take a Waymo Wood in Phoenix or Tempe. But even that, I'm not really sure. From what I was looking at, those aren't going to be around that long. I don't know if it's some real cracking down on this or what, but somebody finally put their hand up and said, wait a minute, we don't have infrastructure. The cars don't work. They're very dangerous and they shouldn't be on the road. And all of a sudden, investors are like treating it like Grubhub if Prime had never saved them.
See, the thing I think, when I think of the autonomous cars, I think it's something that people want, but it's not something that people need. And I think from an economic perspective, a lot of these companies right now, they're going into this, more of a needs versus want. So I think they're going to pull back definitely on investing in that technology. But I do think that they're still going to want it down the road. So I do believe it's maybe a step back, but eventually going to result in 2 steps forward down the line.
Oh yeah, I just think that finally it's falling in place, the reality. To me, it reminds me. See, this is why I've been so upset about autonomous cars, is because I used to think like we talk about flying cars. I used to think of it like that. Like, dude, who's buying this? We're not there. And it was, as soon as Uber went public, they sold off all that stuff. Well, it's the same thing with autonomous. I feel like they just tricked the public into believing we're way farther than we are. And it's now like these reports are coming out saying investors, without the big investors in this space, you can forget about its growth will not only take longer, but it's really going to slow everything down. People just don't want to.
Investors also want those patents, though. The first person to come up with a great functioning autonomous car, they're going to make a fortune. And the other thing I think about the autonomous car when I think of it is that they're meant to work in a world where everybody is rational, and that's just not the case. And right. I think that's going to be a continuous issue with autonomous cars.
See, I think it's even further than that, John. I think that they're meant to work in a world where people don't drive.
That's the other thing, yeah. When there's also, they can't have autonomous cars and half the people with,
whenever you introduce humans into a world that robots are controlling, you're going to have issues. That's just the nature of things. So I think before we can ever really see a fully, truly autonomous car, like everybody walks out, they get in their car and it takes them wherever. I think all cars are going to have to be that way. They're all going to have some type of city sync up system, things like that, so they always know where everybody else is at.
So kind of going down that road, I think the first place that we could see like an autonomous car would be in some area that just called itself the autonomous zone, and I don't know, some 2 city blocks that says in these blocks, Waymo owns it. Like it could be doing in Phoenix or somewhere around like a campus, like a college campus, Tempe, and saying, this is a college experiment.
You need a controlled environment.
Exactly.
Okay, put up a border around California. We can use that as control environment.
I've even said, John, use parts of your state, because they seem to like operating in the desert, because, and this isn't a slam, it doesn't work well with weather. The LiDAR doesn't work. There's all kinds of issues with these $250,000 junk autonomous cars that don't work under so many circumstances that build a small city.
Well, the other thing that works well in Arizona is that our system is built on a grid system. Our highways and our streets on a grid system, and our highways a loop. So if you go from east, Phoenix to West Phoenix, you can take a one street all the way across. North Phoenix to south, one street all the way down. If you want to go around the city, there's a loop that takes you just all around the city. So I think the infrastructure of Phoenix works for these vehicles because it's pretty much, if you go straight, make a left, you can get, or make a right, you can get anywhere in the city pretty much. Or just take the highway and you'll get there and make one turn and you'll be on the opposite side of town.
Yeah.
Hate to bring it up I feel like we're always bringing it up, but it kind of also goes back to who will be accountable for the faults.
And that's the big part, is that I think one of the biggest things about investors not wanting to be in this anymore is that they're starting to see these companies say, you know what, let's not have a driver in there. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. These cars cannot do this on their own. They don't want to be involved in even one crash.
I think there's too many unknown factors, like human factors, to Gary's point, that goes in. Like, some of these can't control if a person is just going to jump out in front of a car, or a kid might kick a soccer ball and run out in front of a car. Like, I feel like they can't control the unknown human factors that can contribute to a lot of the stuff that goes wrong with autonomous cars.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, I'm just glad to see this. I'm glad about the whole report that the Detroit Bureau put out. And for those of you that don't know, the Detroit Bureau feeds all of the auto news. It doesn't often put out stuff, but it put out this full report, and everything's just the project with Hyundai and Delphi and Aptiv. That one's shut down. They're all shutting down. Lamborghini's stopping their productions. They're moving, and it's not level. Again, it's not. They were reaching level 5 before, which is full autonomous. They said, but now they're not going back to level 4 and reevaluating. They're jumping all the way back to level 2, and saying, let's perfect the steering control so that people don't die and run into a guardrail. Let's do this. And it reminded me of the EVs in California, how we were saying that why skip hybrid? Why are you guys going right past hybrid?
Right.
Yeah.
Hybrid is something that works. We can deal with that for a while. Why are we going right to EV? That makes no sense. Mm-hmm. It's. I feel like the same thing's going to happen there soon. They're just going to say, you know what, we got to go with these first.
Well, I mean, it does make sense to, really master those fundamentals of kind of that driver assist, of things that can assist the driver on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the commercials from just a few years ago when it was hey, this car can park itself. Okay, well, why don't you master that before you start sending them out with people in them, to go places? Because I don't know. I've never felt like it's very safe. And I feel like they know it. And I feel like this is what's needed. The investors needed to go, wait a minute, this isn't coming. This isn't real. We're just wasting. I mean, if $100 billion this year spent into autonomous, and now all of the companies, GM, all the big companies are going, we're done. We're out. This is wasted money.
Well, I think the big thing is all that money that they spend on autonomous. If the car isn't electric, it's pretty much a waste of money, especially with the way a lot of these, companies that are funding the autonomous are going, with California and New York, being the two big ones. A lot of other states that are trying to push EV by, on that deadline.
Yeah. Well, it just makes me happy when the robots die. So I hope they burn them all and, start at the drawing board again. Maybe one day we'll have it. I'm sure one day we will have it. I just keep saying, and I'm gonna stick to it, that it's not in the sights right now.
So when you see the Google Tesla merger, the new Skynet company.
Plus, you got to get everybody to get one.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of when, not if. It's just
No, I seriously think 15, 20 years from now, we'll be better off in autonomy than we are currently. I just think
yeah.
it's that far off.
Yeah.
And I love technology. I just think it's that far off.
Yeah. I mean, I've said things like, if we're really doing this, why aren't we testing it on buses?
Right. Something simple.
Buses that are in a city that only make 4 right turns.
Phoenix, perfect for that.
You know, I mean, if you're not doing stuff like that, you're not really showing me you're serious about autonomous.
Well, I always wondered that too, because like Oklahoma City, they have that tram downtown, but it's not like automated. Like, why? It only goes certain ways. Like, why would you not? It goes in a circle. Like, why is that not, automated in any capacity? Instead, we pay somebody like $35 an hour to go.
I think that Chris is talking about the flux capacitor here.
Going back in time, 88 miles an hour.
But yeah, that's my huge thing. It's on ridesharerodeo.com. You can go there. It's the story I posted today, and it has tons of links in it too, where if you want to like dive in and see some of the other things. They talk about the shortcomings in California. I mean, just all my favorite stuff is in this article. I love it. But hopefully everybody is here, because John has a story for us after we do this. But let's do the big giveaway or get it started.
Is there a hashtag for that? The big giveaway?
No, I think there's only the 6, so we just need to confirm that they're here.
Well, they're still going to need to give a hashtag though.
Oh yeah, they will, won't they, for that raffle thing?
So if you won,
no, you should just call out their names.
Yeah, just keep it clean.
Yeah, just like, but like, hey, you.
Okay, so I'll start with Pia. Pia, if you're here, make sure that you do this. Chris, Real Rideshare Stories, JP's Corner, Tommy Sison,
Mr. Flex, and then Broderick, or no, not Broderick, Bonsai.
So you guys, we're gonna give you a hashtag word. If everybody else would not put the hashtag word in, so that it's only those 6, and I'm not even sure all 6 are here, so your odds of winning are really good tonight. So if you win, it's $100. Same thing that you were doing with Gary. You'll send it to me. And if you have I can do other ways too, but if you have Venmo, that would be the easiest way.
Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. We'll make it work somehow.
Yep. So what is the word then?
How about kindness? Can't misspell it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, kindness, because it's right above Kim's head. So if you can't spell, it's written right there. So
you have a cheat sheet.
See how she perked up when I said that? She's like, oh, what? Yeah. So yeah, hashtag kindness, U6.
Yeah. Already Chris is.
I know, throwing all kinds of different ones.
Bird is the word. There we go.
So Chris, some red herrings out there.
Chris did it right. We have 1. So
JP's Get Corner did it right. All right, we need Mr. Flex. I don't even know if he's watching.
Bonsai should still be here.
Yeah, Bonsai should still be here.
Bonsai, you got to put in hashtag kind. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
And Mr. Flex, where are you, man?
He's not watching us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sucks to be him. Should watch us.
Well, then these people's odds just got even better.
Yeah, even better. Who was the other one? We got Pia. Pia is not here. Pia, if you're here, type it.
And Tommy.
And Tommy.
I'm surprised Tommy's not here.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
Yeah. Might as well go ahead.
Yeah, might as well go ahead.
Okay, I got three names, guys.
1 in 3 chance.
Everybody's odds doubled there.
I know.
Right, it did, right? Ooh, who's it gonna be?
All right. 3, 2,
Drum roll.
1.
Oh, this is gonna bounce around like a ping ball.
Right. Oh, JP won again. Good job.
There you go, JP.
Yeah.
See?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Nice job.
Follow rules. Showed up when you're supposed to.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris, you did too, but
that's the big thing. Yeah, Chris did too. Chris and Bonsai both here as well.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So JP, if you do have Venmo, you can email me, steve@ridesharerodeo.com, and I will send that right over to you. So, yeah.
Congrats, JP. Early full Thanksgiving gift.
Yeah.
Black Friday money.
You can get at least one turkey with that.
Turkey money.
I would say it might be 2 turkeys at this point.
Maybe, yeah.
You get a turkey and a Cornish hen.
Yeah. Nice.
Mr. Flex, you had to be here, Mr. Flex.
You had to play to lose. So no, you didn't lose.
Yeah, you can't lose. You had to play. You wasn't here.
Yeah, JP, just email me, steve@ridesharerodeo.com, and then send me your Venmo handle, and I will take care of it after the show. So,
nice.
Congratulations, and hopefully, if you don't have a turkey, that gets you turkey and some fixins. And I don't know how much California turkey is, but
$300.
Hopefully, it's still turkeys there.
I feel like it's cheaper than gas to get a turkey.
I got my turkeys yesterday, so can't wait.
So, John, you have a story for us, and I feel like this story happens once in a while, and I'm wondering if it's because they're civil servants, because I feel like it's a nice thing. But
so I feel like this is coming up. I feel like it's. At first, when I read the story, I thought, did I read this before? This is deja vu. This is like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen this story. But, it's a TikToker recorded the police delivering their Doordash order after their driver was arrested. And this is a recent one. This is not, the one that happened last month or a couple months before. This is a fresh one. And it's concerning because it's kind of becoming a trend. And I think it's, obviously we hear about it when the people who have the food delivered, A, have TikTok, and B, have a Ring doorbell camera. But how often is this happening not on camera? If this is happening this often on camera, that's something that comes to the back of my mind. And we've talked about the fact that, these background checks for these gig apps is really kind of just a racket. It's just collecting that fee. They're not really preventing too much. There's a lot that they let through. But I mean, it's becoming, I think, a little concerning that there's this many gig drivers with warrants out there. Not sure if it's before they signed up or if it's something that happened after. But yeah, I mean, the other thing I wonder about too is how often does the police arrest a driver and just get a free bag of Taco Bell and then the customer just has to mark it undelivered.
So the other thing,
more often than not.
the other thing though too is that if you look into it, you're allowed to let other people work your Uber Eats.
I've heard that.
So you can go get your $29 checker background check. You could pass it or you could fail it. Who knows? But if you pass it, even if you had a felony or something, but let's say you didn't. Let's say you were clean, you passed it. You could then hand off your account to anybody though, and they could all be felons.
That's interesting. See, I've heard that. Now, is it that you can actually hand off your account or that you can basically have them like deliver like under your name or like how does that work?
Yeah, however it works, as long as it's not passengers, you're allowed to do that. That's weird to me. That's very weird to me.
I think it would be more so. Yeah, it'd be more so I could have a felon with me delivering the food versus I can just have the felon imposes me.
Yeah,
that opens up so many other issues.
Yeah, I really don't understand this, but I feel like this has happened before, and I feel like most of the time the police do deliver the food, though. I always wonder if they do it with the guy in the back.
Like you go to the station and I'll deliver this order, and then like deliver the food. They're like, hey, I don't know. He ate one of your burgers and drank soda. There you go.
I mean, do they still swipe deliveries completed? Where the money goes? Like that's.
The guy gets deactivated on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I'm all for whatever helps people earn and stuff, but I think that's just an example of like, gosh, you guys go and fix these little things barely, but I see a bigger problem in letting anybody that wants to use your account.
Yeah, I agree with that. The other thing I've noticed on this is that it's always a DoorDash driver. You never hear about this on Grubhub or Uber Eats.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably happening. All the platforms are probably guilty about this, and I'm conflicted because when someone is, especially they're trying to have a second chance in life, that they should be able to do something as simple as food delivery, but understand at the same time that people like there's a privilege to have the app, to be in people, you're in business establishments, you are in office buildings, you could be potentially going into residential areas. So that also is an issue as well. So it's like, obviously DoorDash is not doing enough, clearly. But where is that line? Like, if someone has a felony, should they just be automatically eliminated from even participating in food delivery or any, you know what I mean? So where is that line? Is it just based on what kind of felony? I mean, I think I agree with that. Like, violent felonies, maybe not. Obviously, if you're accused of stealing, larceny, maybe you shouldn't be and having access to people's residential areas and stuff like that. But it is a fine line because it is food delivery, and a lot of people when they come out of prison, right, it's hard to find work. And then also, when this type of thing happens, it's messed up for everybody else, right? There may be guys out there that had the second chance doing everything right, and then these stories come out, people abusing it and messing up even for them, to a point where maybe DoorDash says, you know what? Yeah, if you have a criminal record, sorry, you can't be on the app. I mean, it's a possibility in the future.
Yeah, I think the one thing I also couldn't, what you were talking, I recognized too, is that our presumed guilt here. And just because you're arrested doesn't mean that you're guilty. It just means you can't deliver that order. You could be totally, you could be good. Yeah, you're just indisposed at the moment. So
yeah,
but they could come back and you could be like back on it the next day. It could be something stupid as a bunch of tickets that got you a bench warrant and now you're picked up. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I just think that I don't know. I think it's ridiculous that you can let people ride, and like Chris had mentioned, that you could rent it out. I do see where a couple people are, there was a couple comments from Brandon here and one here about the photo verification, and I'd like to address that because in Europe, they've photo identification is complete bomb fail. It doesn't distinguish women, people of color, people of different races. Here, I think that the facial recognition was primarily about masking, and that's all it was just making sure your mouth was covered.
Yeah.
So really, it's not, we're not dealing with true facial recognition. So to be honest, I don't even know why they're making you take a photo when delivering food, because they don't care. I mean, I don't know why that's even still a thing.
Well, I've heard with Uber Eats that specifically they check your background like once every 12 months or once a year or something like that. So that's why they catch those things, that if somebody was clean when they got on there and, something happened in that year after that they find those, and they get those people off the platform more often than the other ones do, or DoorDash specifically, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you're allowed to do this, and I know you are, even on Uber Eats, why do they care about first of all, their photo verification only does, it was only making sure you had a mask on. So if that's the case, then why care? Because you can already let other people work your platform.
Well, I know that Uber Eats now, even post-mask, I know nowadays, they still ask me to take my picture, and I know they don't have the mask in the platform. So they have something else outside of the mask, but I don't know what it's for, though.
Right.
Now I will say that you can't just, all these terms of service, you can't just be like, okay, John, go deliver for me. I can't do that. There is certain protocols that you have to do either beforehand or after in order to stay in line with the terms of service. Like DoorDash, you must actually have a background check done on the person that is going to be working for you. You must alert DoorDash in advance so many days before they start working on your profile and things of that nature. It's not like just, here, John, go dash for me. So even if you do all that, and I'm pretty sure on DoorDash or on Uber Eats, part of this with the verification pictures and things. If it did come back and they're like, "Oh, that's not you," you can be like, "Hey, here's my evidence. I submitted it to you in accordance with your terms of service." Blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just like ADT contacts you and says, "Hey, did you rent your car out today?" "Yeah, I did." "Okay."
No, that's the real hustle. You rent out, you tour your car, and as well as you tour your DoorDash account. You sign up for DoorDash and you never leave your house.
Right. Tommy, I saw you just came in. Sorry you missed it, man. We were looking for you. But the last thing I did want to address here, I did want to say, I know that we are at the end here, but I was watching Brandon's Dashing Grandpa's live right before we go live. If you guys don't know, on Thursday nights now he goes live the hour before, so it's great. We're kind of back to back. But he was talking about Spark like he often does, and I'm just curious. This doesn't need to go too deep, but how many people are either seeing or think that Spark isn't going to be all that here shortly?
What do you mean? Like not? What do you mean?
Everybody's raving about Spark still.
Oh, okay.
And I'm wondering.
Here's the thing. Spark's been around for 5 years.
Yeah.
And people are still raving about them.
Right.
I'd say Spark is growing right now just because of the DoorDash contract. And they still got the Uber Eats one to take off eventually. So they still got more growth underneath them.
And eventually, I think they'll get rid of all third-party apps for them.
Yes.
And just use their own people. Not employees, but I'm saying their own contractors and employees, kind of like Amazon does.
Well,
I was going to say the two companies that are dominating everything, right? Multi-billion dollar companies is Walmart and Amazon. So
those are the competitors. They're, if anything, the other gig companies are going to
should watch out for them. Yeah, especially because was it last week or something like I mentioned that Amazon actually getting into retail deliveries now, so they're actually branching away from just their regular delivery platform. So how long do you think after they gobble up Grubhub? Do you think they'll get into the food delivery? And Amazon, they're powerful. I don't care if anybody can fight DoorDash's market share. It's Amazon.
They got money to burn. DoorDash doesn't. Even if it's that they say we're just going to outlast you.
All they got to do is say, "Hey, you're a Prime member. Here's your free delivery." That automatically kills DoorDash.
I think all markets are just different. Just it kind of depends on the market that you're in. But I feel like Walmart expanded this past year a couple months ago, and I think they're going to keep rolling out handfuls of Walmarts here or there. So it's almost like you're not going to really know they're expanding, but they are expanding. And then all of a sudden there's going to be more and more Walmarts on the platform because not every Walmart is on the Spark platform.
Didn't Shipt, I was reading Chris's story here, didn't Shipt actually add in somebody to their platform?
Shipt, not in my market. Actually, in my market, Shipt is they removed Safeway deliveries from.
Yeah, I was going to say they took away some.
Well, it could have been Walmart actually. So one of them actually added in another retailer that's not them, and so I think it could have been Walmart. I'll look it up for next Thursday.
So I know, even though we associate with Walmart with Spark, I do know that Spark is trying to basically add other services in the long run where they deliver for other local companies and businesses. Kind of like they sounded like what I read, like they're having they call it I think it's like the Spark Local or something like that. But basically they're trying to expand outside of Walmart slowly but surely as well.
Right. Well, somebody just picked up Sprouts too. Was that shipped?
Sprouts
might be.
Amazon.
Yeah, instead of it being open to everybody, Sprouts is now going with somebody now.
Sprouts delivery. It says DoorDash, Walmart. Oh no, that's Walmart. No, I don't think DoorDash. I think that's just an ad. Hold on, let me see.
But like one of the things I think happened was Instacart can't deliver Sprouts anymore.
No. Schedule a grocery delivery or grocery pickup online today with Sprouts delivery powered by Instacart.
It's only Instacart. There you go. There's the big
awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah,
I don't even know what Sprouts is.
Okay, there we go.
It's like a Whole Foods.
Oh, okay. Like
A Home Depot.
Sprouts.
Okay.
So
it looks like it's Walmart, Home Depot, and auto parts stores. So
Yeah, Walmart's growing.
Yeah.
I think
But
if
so
anything,
on
they're going to
all
put
the-
that pressure on the food delivery companies to only do food delivery in the long run.
on all the social medias that I could, I was posting like things saying like, hey, if you could only have one app between now and the end of the year, what would it be? And then I was also saying follow up like, what are you spending most of your time working on? And it's funny because almost across the board on every answer was somewhere in the zone of like 90% of what I do is DoorDash, yet nobody answered that the app they would choose is DoorDash. Like people were putting, if I only could use one app between now and January 1st, it would be Spark. Where are you working? How are you working the most? 90% DoorDash. What?
yeah, I wouldn't do DoorDash.
No, but my point was people were putting that 90% of their work is coming from DoorDash.
Right.
However, that's not what they'd picked.
Well, no, I mean, because
It was either Spark or Uber Eats was what it was.
Well, because I think a lot of people misunderstood the question. Like, if you could choose one app to work and keep you busy, is what they probably had in their mindset.
Because they're thinking that DoorDash is going to keep them busy versus Spark or Uber Eats or something may not have as high value.
Yeah. I just thought it was weird because, I would expect a few people to say DoorDash since they're all working it the most, and nobody did. I don't know. The faith of DoorDash maybe isn't as high as it used to be. But you guys, next week we are not here. And I have started pulling down some videos. I will put up a best of thing. It will not have the Hannibal edits that are badass and all this. It will be something. It will look okay.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I do realize sometimes the less you do, the better it is, if that makes sense. You could have graphics flying around and it doesn't matter. It's about, it's about the story. It's about the, people talking.
So yeah, it'll be an hour long and it'll premiere at the same time we do this because we won't be here next week because
See you next year.
See you next year.
Because of things. We won't be here.
We're
But if
taking
you
a month
feel
and a
like
half
watching it, it'll premiere at the same time. And
so you're premiering and you're not so it'll stream and people could jump in and chat and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe, I guess. I mean, I was trying to think about it. Maybe I was thinking premiere might be fun. You never know. Some people are out working or
premiere it. I'll join.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, it's just going to be some funny moments and other things that have happened. You guys can
I would premiere it. I'm sure some of us can stop by.
Oh yeah.
So in fact, enjoy that. I will, I've already been pulling down some clips and we have more funny ones than I thought. I knew we had a bunch, but there's a lot of some funny stuff out there that's happened over the course of by the way, this is the 38th Rodeo Roundtable.
Nice. With all of us?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, no, not John.
Well, I know not John. I'm just saying with the panel, not just you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't include the one I did with the ladies for AB5. I didn't include the one I did for Curry. I didn't even include the one we did for Maximo because I felt like those weren't really roundtables like this.
Right.
But this is the 38th one. So next week I guess that's not really one, but we're coming up on 40. So
the only person who has perfect attendance is Kim.
Kim.
Steve, you left. I mean, you weren't here one episode either.
Yeah, none of us have except for Kim.
Kim.
Yeah.
See.
Do I get a free pass if I'm not here one day?
Yeah. Obviously.
Well, you lose your perfect attendance.
Hey, lose your perfect attendance.
But with that said, you guys, tomorrow Driver Nation is going to be rocking again on this channel. So make sure to join us.
7 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, 7 to 9 Eastern, and you guys can do the math for the other time zones. Join us, join in. We love it, and it's always fun. It's a good group of people.
Yeah.
There's a new thing that's happening.
Between now and the holidays, what does anybody else have going on?
Me just keep looking at my lap, I guess. I'm staring at my lap right now, so that's all I'm gonna do.
Tim, what about you? You got anything before the holidays or?
Before the holidays, I have a lot of things coming up behind the scenes that I've been working on. Obviously, I have my Tuesday night live, and I have a fantastic new sign thanks to Mr. Middleton.
That's how bad I hated her lights behind her. No, Kim's a great person, so she's always spreading that message. So now it's a little bit easier for her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's really cool. I'm trying to think what else. I'm eating on Thursday all day long. So if I gain like 10 pounds, you'll know why.
It's okay. We're all going to gain.
I'm just really looking forward to spending the holidays with my family this week, just because, everything that's been happening over the past couple of years is just going to be really good to get everybody together and just be grateful for this week and what's coming up, and stay tuned.
And Hannibal, other than your lap, what do you got going?
Let me check right now. Yeah, I'm gonna, I think I got a video coming out tomorrow. I'm pushing more and more videos. I mean, that's the goal, just trying to get more content out there because I'm enjoying doing it. So for the holidays, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of eating, taking care of dogs, obviously, still walking them and doing that type of stuff, but just keeping it, just hanging out with some family, going to visit grandma, hanging out. So I think at this point, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday now. Even more than Christmas, I think. I mean, both are great, but I love eating a lot of food, watching football, hopefully watch the Cowboys lose. Those are the type of things. Hey, I'm looking at my phone. They should lose.
No, they
but yeah, I remember.
He can't even look you in the eye, Kim.
I know.
This is just ridiculous. I don't know. But yeah,
Wait, are you guys gonna bet about it? You gonna have a friendly bet?
No.
A water bet. Whoever loses has to chug a Dr. Pepper.
There you go.
John, what about you?
Me, yeah. So this is a time of the year. Actually, it's kind of interesting. I was just thinking the other day. It's about my 1-year shipped anniversary, sometime around this time last year. So, I continued working on videos. I got some. Actually, I got a Walmart Spark video coming out either by Saturday. We'll say maybe tomorrow, but Saturday at the latest. Which will start a series of Spark videos because I've been doing quite a bit about it. I've been trying to do quite a bit of Spark lately, but now I've learned about it, so I can share some of that knowledge that I've learned with the community. And Shipped with this time of the year, Shipped has great bonuses, so I'll be doing some Shipped for sure, catching those bonuses, and spreading more Shipped knowledge. A lot of changes coming on Shipped actually as well, so quite a few things I gotta make some videos about on the Shipped front.
I'm hoping Shipped comes back around because last winter that's about the only time I had severe luck with it. Was right about this time until about early January. It was just great.
This is the best time of the year, because I think Shipped gets mixed. The people who have Shipped the app, as well as the people who are just shopping on the Target app, and so there's just all of those orders going into Shipped, which makes the volume seem higher than it really is. I'm understanding that now. But from a getting bonuses perspective, that makes it very easy to achieve those bonuses quickly.
Yeah.
Well, good. Maybe he can tell me how to get my new driver package so I actually get my card.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
And Gary, what do you got going on? I know you got your wife coming in.
Yeah. She'll be here Monday.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to Arkansas to my nephew's. Gonna take the grandson out there, and we're gonna all hang out for the holidays and whatnot and things like that. Just kind of hang out,
Yep.
And I am releasing 2 updates though before Monday for both Maximo and Driver's Utility Helper. They're both getting a few more filters. Maximo is you'll be able to get rid of that stupid trip radar that keeps popping up that everybody hates. It's gonna give you the breakdown per mile for the upfront pricing on Lyft. And then DOH is just getting, I don't know, so many additional filters. It's almost, I had to go redesign the whole setting screen for DOH because I got so many filters in that app now. Like, I don't know. If you can't make money using it, contact me. That's all I can say.
You know,
It could have been a lot worse.
Floodgates for emails, right?
I know. I mean, like, because there's like, I went in and I started adding more filters to it, and I was like, geez, like, there's so many that, like, so many inside of many others that I just had to redo the whole UI for it. But there's a beta out now, so if you have DOH, go check for an app update.
I might have to do some DoorDash just so I can play with some DOH.
Yeah.
All right, guys. With that said, congratulations to JP. Congratulations to who's the other winner tonight?
Bonsai.
Congratulations to both you guys, and everybody have I'm sure we'll see you around for over the weekend, whatnot. But then things get a little weird next week. We know this from years past. And so have a safe holiday, obviously. And make sure to check out next week's roundtable, even though we won't be here. I think it's going to be fun, or I'm going to try and make it as fun as I can for you guys. And you guys can even vote on which ones you think are the funniest or the best. I heard you saw a couple that I know are my contenders. So, yeah, watch it, see what you think. Catch it right if you can, if you can. If you can't, catch it after. But it'll be up there. It just won't be us live, but it'll be worth watching. So until the week after, have a good holiday, and we'll see you back here.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Right.
Happy
Peace,
holidays.
everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Bye.